I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together step by step through each of the ABRSM theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets and you can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. Lots of information to help you there. There's a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials on that website, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day when you're actually working through your exam paper. So if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you could like, subscribe and share, that would be great. And now we're going to crack on with the next questions of the 2018 Grade 1 Paper C. So if you turn with me to page 12, and we're going to start with question number 3 now. And so, as I always say, and I know that I'm repeating myself, do have a go of this on your own. It doesn't matter if you go wrong. You're always going to learn much more thoroughly by making mistakes. And if you work in pencil, I use a mechanical pencil just so it stays sharp. You can always just rub out any mistakes and have another go. So I'm hoping you've had a go of this and now we'll work through this together. So question 3 asks us to name the major key signatures shown by these key signatures. So it's just a little bit of revision in order to get to grips with these key signatures. So C major has a key signature of nothing because there are no sharps and flats in the key. F major has 1 flat, and the way I remember that is F for flat. It's a B flat. G major has 1 sharp, which is F sharps, and D major has F sharps and C sharps. D major has 2 sharps. And so that's all the information that you need. It's just remembering it and bringing it to mind for these questions. So no sharps or flats is C major. B flats, 1 flat is always B flat. That's F major. And so if we know that's F major, we also know that this is F major because there's B flat in the treble clef, there's B flat in the bass clef. Both of these are F major. And so we have 2 sharps here. We know that 2 sharps is D major, F sharps and C sharps. When there's 1 sharp, it's always F sharps. 2 sharps is always F sharp and C sharp. So we know that that's a D major, just after a little bit of revision. And so if we know that one is D major, we also know that this one is D major, 2 sharps, just that one is bass, one is treble, but the key is the same. D major has those sharps. And then G major, there's just this one here with F sharps in the bass clef. So there we go. Once you've got to grips with it, that's easy peasy. You just need a little bit of revision so you can handle those key signatures. Let's press on. So question 4. So now there's a few clues that they've given us in bold type here, and then just to make sure we thoroughly understand what's going on, they've even given us an example here. They say after each note we write in a higher note. We're always counting upwards from the given note to form a melodic interval. Remember, a melodic interval is where they come one note after the other as if it was a melody, hence the name, unlike a harmonic interval where the notes come together at the same time like a harmony or a chord. So if you weren't even sure, if you've forgotten these little terms here, melodic meaning melody, one after the other, as long as you follow their example, you'll still be correct. So there's a double check. We're in C major, so we're always counting up from C, regardless of which octave or which clef. And so we can either count up the steps. Don't forget, C is always 1, 1, 2, 3. There we know that's a third. However, if you want to just double check that, because sometimes it's very easy to forget, I know it sounds silly, but it's very easy to forget to count note 1 and just progress on upwards 1, 2 and miss the first degree of the scale. But if you write out the steps of the scale, just give yourself an octave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's our octave. And so we know that E is the third. 1, 2, 3, C, D, E. So you can double check it that way. So now we're in the bass clef, we're counting up a sixth. So we're counting space, line, space, that's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we put in the note afterwards. And that's a note A. And we can double check that A is the 6th degree of the scale of C major. So here we have a middle C in the treble clef, and so a second is literally the next door note, 1, 2, C to D. There we go. I'll just tidy that up, shall I? Ooh, still not great, never mind. So then, let's press on. So now we're counting a seventh, so 1 is the 1st degree of the scale, C, 1, 2, space line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 takes us to B, and we can double check that B is the 7th degree of the scale, and so we know that we've not gone wrong. So now we're in the bass clef C again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so the 4th is F, C, D, E, F, that's correct. Good boys deserve football, so we know that's correct. And now we're back into the treble clef with a high C, and we want to find a fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the space. C, D, E, F, G. G is the 5th, and so we know we're correct. So there, that's that one done. And let's move on to the next question. So the next question is just doing a little bit of testing our knowledge of rests. So we need to show the corresponding rest to match the same time value as the note given. So here we have a quaver or an 8th note with a dot. So here's a quaver or an 8th note rest with a dot. And so that sort of helps us with the answer here, because we know as a quaver or an 8th note has one little tail, a semiquaver or 16th note has 2 little tails, and so the same principle with the rest. We start off with what looks like a quaver or an 8th note rest, and then we just add another little sort of stem tail on it there. And there's our semiquaver or 16th note rest. Now we have a 2-beat note here, a minim or a half note, and the corresponding rest for that is the one that sits on the middle line, little box that sits on the middle line, not to be confused with the 4-beat rest. So we'll just look at the difference of those and see how to remember those in a second when we get to it. So we have now here a crotchet or a quarter note, a 1-beat note, and the rest is like a Z with a C. That's the way I draw that. Little bit of a random scribble there, but I think it portrays it okay. So here we are with the 4-beat note, a whole note or a semi-breve. This is a 4-beat note and it hangs off the 4th line, and that's how I remember which one is which. The 4-beat rest hangs off the 4th line, whereas the 2-beat rest just sits on the middle line. So 4th line, 4 beats, that should help. Now this one, they have actually really given us the answer, because here all we've got to do is the same thing but without the dot. Here we have a dotted quaver, a dotted 8th note rest. So here is the quaver or the 8th note rest but without the dot. So we can use something that they've given us to help us just double check our thinking. So that's the end of that question. We'll look at the next questions in the next video. I do hope that's helped you. I hope that you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like and a subscribe, that would be fab. Please do subscribe to my channel. There's lots more in store. Please also do visit sharonbill.com and have a browse around all of the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.